Okay, so today, isn't that cute? I know it's backwards. Um, I'm having some concerns lately because I'm hearing a lot of people make a lot of horrifically bad mistakes, and I want to behoove you. I am behooving not to make the same stupid mistakes. My number one stupid mistake is check cashing places, okay? You know those payday loan nonsense things? You know why you only see them in poor neighborhoods? Because those are the only people that are going for it. I'm just saying. They get, what is it, like $5 for 100 for a week? That's really high interest. That's like 225%. That's insane, okay? You could just pay for it with a credit card and not have to pay anywhere near that much, even if you don't have very good credit. So yeah, horrifically bad idea. You can go into any bank. I'm going to tell you this for a fact. You can go into any bank, open up an account, checking account. Seems to be the only way to bother with it because I don't see any merit in having a savings account at this point because they're not really giving you anything and it's not worth it. Checking account, and if you have a record with them and you pay your bills on time, and that would give you a decent credit rating if you paid your bills on time every time. You could take that $1,000 that you just put in there and use it. But you have to have something besides the $1,000 in there and no other checks that are going to take the $1,000, because if you wind up with an overdraft, now they're not going to play with you anymore. They're going to take their little toys and go home. They're going to take their bat and leave. I'm just saying. So don't go there. But then, if you have a $500 check, that's, look, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That's $25 that you just gave some check cashing company for 1 week. Okay, that's dumb. I'm sorry, it's ridiculously stupid. If you did that on a credit card, okay, you'd have a month to get it together before you have to have the money in. And you have to have the money in. I don't care what anybody says. You need to have that paid in full every month because it's a tremendous amount of money otherwise. Now, especially over time. Now, if you forget or something happens, now if you have a good credit rating and you have a good history with these people of paying on time and preferably paying on full, that's just for you, not for them, then they will work with you. They will play with you if there's a mistake. Something goes wrong with the mail, your bill shows up late, whatever. You can't do that every time. I'm just saying, because if you do, you're going to ruin all credibility. Just saying. But, I had a problem like that, and it was $42 in interest. I'm not paying $42 in interest. That's not my mistake. It's a mistake of the mail or whatever, okay? And one phone call, and I have $42 in my favor now, or off my bill. Well, this is why you want to have a good credit rating. Always, 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 always. No matter what happens, always have a good credit rating. If you have to eat beans and tuna until that happens, then do so, because you won't die. Just saying. So, now, a lot of people obviously don't know anything about money or where to start or what to do. Oh my God, my nose. Go to the library. There's all kinds of books on the shelf that you can read to your heart's content. You can get digital downloads. Terry Savage. There's a book called Prince Charming Isn't Coming by Barbara Stanny. Now, her father was part of H&R Block. It was two brothers that owned it. And when the father died, he left his daughter X amount of money. And she made the horrifically bad mistake of letting her husband handle it. Well, it was gone. And she'd have been better off making her own mistakes on her own time. Okay? So that's all at the library for nothing. You can read the same. There's an app for magazines. You can read the same money magazines that the rich people read. And you read it and you wait until it makes sense. And then you take that information and you put it somewhere else. Oh my God, my nose is killing me. Okay. So now, college and trade schools. Now, if you're broke, is the perfect time to go to college, especially during a pandemic when we're all on Zoom anyway. You have to fill out this form called a FAFSA, F-A-F-S-A. That's for financial aid. You will probably wind up a few $100s over at least. If you're full-time, you got to be full-time. They want you to be full-time. And you'll wind up with $500 or $600 extra. Don't go and buy the books from the college, okay? Or borrow them or rent them or... Nope. If you can get a cheaper one on eBay or something, or an earlier edition, then do so. And then just be a pill to your professor until they come along on board with you. Because, for example, what do you call it? Music theory, the famous tonal harmony book. The 5th edition is no different than the 7th edition. I'm sorry, I don't care what they say. It's not worth $300. It's just not. Ooh, God, my nose. So I'm not paying for it. I'll take the earlier edition. You don't have to tell them, but if you have a problem with where the pages are, where the chapters are, you can usually make it happen. Just tell them, look, I don't have $300 to pay on no textbook. Well, you're going to use it for 4 semesters. So what? I still don't have $300 to blow on your textbook, because that would give you only half of the money that you got over for everything else that you need to buy. You can go to college and trade school, especially if you're a female. You can go to trade school, which would be plumbers, electricians, people that hang drywall or construction or whatever, for nothing. Why would you not want to get into this? I wouldn't recommend doing it forever because it is very hard on your body. You'll make good money, but you have to be very certain to put it away. Because if you don't put it away, at some point you may wear your body out, and then what do you do? Okay? You might not have much recourse this time. Oh my God. Okay? Now, mistakes. Dealing with payday loans. Number 1, buying junk food. Junk food is tremendously profitable for them. There goes number 2. It's like a 90% profit margin, which is insane. You don't need that. So you can have snacks that are healthy. So you can buy the best price that I've seen for the nuts is, that big container that comes from Aldi's for $12 or $13. And I personally have found that, I don't know, it seems like they may be a little, I want to say old. I don't know why, but they don't taste as fresh as the walnuts or the pecans or the whatever's that are in the smaller bags. I don't know why, but that's just what it seems to me. I get them non-salted. I can always put salt on them later if I want to, but the salt adds up after a while. And nuts are very healthy for you. So if you can get, or you have a pressure cooker, put some beans in the pressure cooker. You don't want to fill it all the way up to the halfway line on the inside of the pan because it'll go over. But that'll get rid of some of the leptins that aggravate some people with their stomachs, and you make a bunch of it, and then you put it in the freezer, and it'll last for a month or 2. And it also fills up your stomach. So you have oatmeal. Aldi's has the gigantic oatmeal containers like this. I would get the traditional kind, so you can put it in a bowl and put it in there overnight with the cinnamon or whatever you want to put in there. Just put the whole thing in the bowl overnight, and then you can microwave it or cook it later on. Yeah, I can see my nose is getting red there underneath. I don't know what that's all about. But that's an option. You have things like eggs. The best price for eggs right now is probably, again, Aldi's, unless there's a sale or something. But I would look for, organics free range, because if you have healthy animals, you're going to have healthy food coming from those healthy animals. If it's cheap for a reason. You don't need a lot of meat. You do need some fish. I would go with salmon because you have vitamin D in salmon, and then you put that with some kale, assuming that you're not on various types of medications where you have to look out for vitamin K, because you can't have it. I don't remember what the deal is. I think it's warfarin or something. But at any rate, put those 2 things together, and you don't need very much. You need a little piece of salmon, or salmon is the only one that you can get vitamin D from that I know of. I think you get some in spinach also. So there's an option. And again, Costco has these gigantic boxes of, vegetable burgers or meat, already cooked meat burgers or whatever. And you don't eat the whole thing because that would be a lot, okay? For a grown person, you could slice it in half and maybe put one with an egg. For a child, I'd go like a half of that. So like a quarter in an egg maybe. And you can't go wrong with that because it's a healthy breakfast and it's cheap. And a whole box might cost you not even $15. I think the veggie burgers are cheaper. But that's a good way to go. And no junk, just have your little container of nuts that you can, or a little baggie of nuts or something. And that's a really healthy way to go. You can have some fruit, you can have apples, apples come in big bags, If you don't have that junk around the house, then you don't have to worry about your health in terms of, boy, I'm getting heavy. What do I do? And then you have all this junk in the house. Well, if you don't have the junk, you don't have to worry about it. But the healthy snacks are a really good way to go around the fact that you're not eating junk, okay? Know your prices. Keep it, you can keep it a little notebook or whatever on your various prices and the things that you do in the places that you go. And I want to discuss the thing about investing, okay? So I see a lot of people, always on YouTube videos, in the comment section, and they're always talking about this cryptocurrency thing. Okay, that alone Makes me very nervous. You don't see people saying, the scam artists saying, well, gee, you should go with Vanguard and buy mutual fund. You don't hear that. Why don't you hear that? Because it's a viable way of doing things, and you're dealing with a reputable company in that case. Some schmuck online, you are not dealing with a reputable person. I'm just saying, don't do it, okay? When you read them, a little comment section on any money video of any kind, you'll start to see they all sound the same, and they all have a WhatsApp. Yeah, no, sorry. Deal with Vanguard, deal with Fidelity, deal with, I don't know, there's a few other ones that are all investment companies. That's who you want to deal with. That's the only people you want to deal with. And now they have the option where you can use smaller amounts of money to invest, but you have to be consistent. I would rather eat peanut butter and tuna or, what else? Rice. You can buy rice in 10-pound bags and freeze it, okay? Then to not have any cash where you can get it if you absolutely need it, in the bank. Or in a mutual fund or a Roth IRA or some sort of retirement fund where you don't have to pay any taxes on it, okay? So that's the big one right there. You want to max that sucker out every time as soon as you can because it adds up. So the compound interest thing. I'm not going to explain compound interest, but I can guarantee you it's in your favor as much as if it's not in your favor, as in debt on a credit card, for example, is not in your favor, but you can see how it adds up, right? You want it in your favor, okay? If you're diverse, and you have your Roth IRA for your retirement, and you have your mutual funds, which are a bunch of little companies stuck together, right? All 30 of those companies in that mutual fund, or however many it is, maybe it's hundreds, they're all not going to fail at once. Even if you have another Enron, which was just completely chaotic, right? Just completely insane. It went from 90 to 34 cents, $90 a share to 34 cents. Even if that were to happen, it's probably not going to impact everything to complete decimation on your end. You want to do that first before you get into anything risky, right? Now, talk to people that have money. Talk to people that have money invested. Because a lot of those people that have money invested, okay, just going to say this right now, they're not going to announce it that they have money. Read a book called The Millionaire Next Door. The people that have a lot of money, they're not necessarily flashy about it. Just saying. Go to the library and read all that stuff and then check it and make sure that what this person says makes sense, okay? There's little services, you have like the Motley Fool. And again, you take that pieces of information and check it on your other sources online or whatever, with reputable sources, not some schmuck that you don't know anything about. Reputable companies, and check that information with those reputable companies. Ask old people, meaning your parents or your grandparents. They didn't get to be old by being stupid. And if they have any money, again, you don't get to keep it by being a fool. I'm just saying. I see a lot of stuff where young kids, like teenagers are talking about they want to get in the cryptocurrency. You don't have a job and you have no money. How are you going to get into cryptocurrency? If you have $100, that's what you want to do with it? Yeah, it's 30,000 or 32,000 right now as we speak on January 6th or whatever it is, 2021. It's way more likely to crash now than it is to go up. And even if it did go up, again, it could crash at any moment. Not a good plan. If you had $100 to play with and no other immediate obligations, okay, well, if you want to be foolish, you go right ahead. There's a lot of scammers involved. There's a lot of thieves involved. There's a lot of hackers involved. Yeah, it sounds like a no to me. Warren Buffett wants nothing to do with it. Bill Gates said he would short it, which would mean he would bet on it to make money if it lost. And there you go. So it sounds like a no-go to me. Just saying. And especially since when you read the YouTube comments on any money channel, it's all buy crypto here, WhatsApp. Yeah, those are scammers, people. Don't make stupid decisions, okay? I just got to beg you not to make stupid decisions. Make informed decisions. And don't make stupid choices. Any bank will give you, oh God, here it goes my nose again. Any bank will give you the opportunity to take your money that you just put in there and use it. But you have to have a record of not making mistakes, which would be a lot of overdrafts, bouncing checks, so on like that. Because now it looks like you're trying to pull something over on them. You have to have a good credit rating. That means pay your bills on time, preferably in full, but that's just for you, not for them. Every month, every month. If you can't afford it, then there's something that you have to do. You better look into babysitting or dog walking or snow shoveling or something where you get better money and you can get cash, okay? I'm just saying. Because working at Walmart is obviously not doing it for you. Get that education, get it for free, fill out those forms, look into the trades, make better decisions. I mean, just, education and knowing how to spell. If you can't spell and you're making out job applications, I can guarantee you there's a number of people that if you can't spell the difference between their THERE, THEIR, and THEYRE as in possessive, as in they are going to, yeah, you're not getting that job. I don't care how great you are. Just say it. And that's hopefully I said something useful. Go to the library, read Terry Savage, read that book Prince Charming Isn't Coming by Barbara Stanny, whose father was half of H&R Block, and her husband took her inheritance and destroyed it. So that's how she learned about money. But she's got a very easy to read book. And try these things out for yourself. But don't play the frickin' lottery. Don't play with stuff that's risky. Don't play around with that cryptocurrency stuff. Because right now it's $32,000. Yeah. If it crashes and you had nothing better to do with $500 or something and you were prepared to lose it, okay, then that's fine. If you have your investments already set for, you won't starve if it fails, that's different. But keep in mind that nobody's really endorsing it. There are people that do, but be very careful of what they say and why they say it and what their possible connection to it might be. So I hope I said something useful. Take notes, pay attention.